Hey everybody, welcome to Hub Tonight. Right now I'm actually in Ottawa, just spending some time with our friends at my church. I was able to preach there last night. Tomorrow I'm going to be preaching at a church in Montreal. Sunday I'm going to be at C3 Toronto, and then Sunday night, Vivid Church's worship night. So looking forward to that. But I wanted to take a moment today with our hubs to reference Sunday when we were talking about the fact that we're on the move. God is leading us somewhere. And just like he did with the people of Israel in the wilderness, he leads in a really caring, loving sort of way. Do you remember that verse from Hosea where it says God leads with cords of tenderness and loving kindness? If you feel like maybe life is driving you to some sort of conclusion, you need to just look for Jesus in this season, because he wants to lead you with kindness. And for the people of Israel, it was a pillar of cloud. I've been thinking about this all week. I wonder if the pillar was vertical or horizontal. I'm not really sure, but I do know this, that it provided them covering. So while they were moving, God was covering them. I think there's something so powerful about us arranging our life under covering. That's what Paul says to Titus in the book of Titus. He says this, that it's important that we constantly be reminded to live under authority, under covering, aligning our life in a safe place. So for Jesus, that meant, or for the people in the wilderness, Jesus being personified in this pillar of cloud and fire, it meant that under that covering came some comfort. There was shade in the daytime, there was warmth at nighttime, because that's actually the greatest place to be, is under the covering that God provides. Secondly, the cloud, the leadership of God also was continual. It was constant, day in, day out, every moment of the day. I want you to know this, that God is never far off. He is always with us. He is always on our side, and he's always leading somewhere. There are times where I potentially take my eyes off Jesus, and my assumption is, I don't know if God's really leading me anymore. I don't know where he's at. Where are you now, God? But God is always leading. His leadership is continual in our life. And the last thing is this, that God, when he leads, is leading with a command. It is not strong suggestions from heaven, and it's not just, let me toss out some advice to you. God actually has a command for our life, but our commander longs to be our companion. His leadership is always towards him, not away from him. He's not shooing us away. He's wooing us closer and saying, follow me, come with me, come and see. That's the nature of the leadership of God. So in your life, in your season right now, you need to know this. God, he's longing to provide covering in your life, to be a continual, constant source of hope, encouragement, and leadership. But he also has a command. There's something for you to do. So tonight in our hubs, we're going to talk just a little bit about that. I want you, first of all, if you could, discuss together a time where you've experienced peace that didn't make sense to be experiencing. Or you had comfort even when you should have felt stressed. And maybe give it just an opportunity to testify a little bit. Like, I have experienced that. Everyone else was stressed around me, but I just knew God was for me. And maybe tonight, you're saying, I can't ever think of a time that happened in my life, but in hearing other people share their testimony, you're going to feel like if God can do it for them, then he can do it for me. Second thing, I want you to really take an assessment of yourself, and let's share together. Have you potentially, in this season, begun to take your eyes off Jesus? And here he is constantly providing leadership in constant direction. You're on a journey. But have you maybe potentially said, well, I kind of just forgot that. I'm looking my own way. Well, tonight is that night of realigning, coming back under the covering, but also understanding we're still moving forward. God is still moving. I'm not saying you got to bare your soul every area of your life, maybe where you're struggling, but let's get honest with ourselves. Have we taken our eyes off the continual leadership of Jesus? Are we still looking to him to be our source? And then lastly, why don't we take a moment together and pray for one another? Do you know the Bible says this, that the nearness of God actually brings gentleness towards one another. So if our commander longs to be our companion, part of us following Jesus together is we get to do it together, and we get to be together in gentleness and comfort. And so if we've received comfort from God, it's for the purpose that we could extend comfort to others. And so I want to encourage you tonight, let's comfort one another in prayer. Let's agree together in prayer. And in fact, this Sunday, I'm preaching a message on comfort. I want to encourage you right now, invite somebody to watch church at home this Sunday, no matter where you're watching from today. Invite someone who needs some comfort. I really think it's going to be a message that encourages. I love you so much. I look forward to seeing you church at home this Sunday. And whether you're in Vancouver or Toronto, we got a worship night this Sunday night. So I'll see you at 520 Alexander Street in Vancouver or at 3350 on Weston Road in Toronto. Looking forward to worshiping together. Love you so much.